The Zing Energy Tampa 150, the halfway point of the 2010 ARLA Elite Series season, would take place at the Tampa Bay Raceway in Florida. Jared Anderson in the 10 won the pole, with Eric Jackson making his first start, qualifying on his outside. Jeb Klinger in the 66 gets a nice run on Anderson, but the caution would come out on the first lap. James West in the 69 suddenly breaks down coming off of turn 2. He gets hit from behind by Ricky Navarro and sent spinning to the inside. This caused the field to stack up. Todd Stater in the 150 gets together with Benji Flynn, taking Harry Inola and Michael Carter into the wall with them. It didn't look like a very hard wreck for the 159, but Inola would drop out of the race anyway. James West would be towed back to the pits and rejoin the field 2 laps down. Jared Anderson led the field to the restart, but it looks like he jumped the start a little bit, and apparently the officials agreed. They gave him a warning. Eric Jackson still hangs on to his spot in the top 5, showing that he will be a contender in his first ARLA race. The former TM Master Cup Series driver will run this 3 car for Gravity Racing Inc. for the rest of the season. Coming off of turn 2, Lucas Hunter gets a little bit loose. He runs across the bumper of Benji Flynn and spins into the pit lane. Since Hunter was out of harm's way, the caution did not come out. This occurred a few times during the qualifying race, and it looks like it will continue tonight. Hunter pits to change his tires. Back up front, Jared Anderson begins to pull away from the pack. DJ Daniels runs second. He's trying to chase down the 10. It's kind of weird seeing Anderson in this 10 car after he ran the 9 for so long. This car was previously driven by Ryan Baldwell, who won 2 championships for the team and then went to the TM Junior Series this season. Sean Donnelly in the 08 is going to be the next driver to spin into the pits after he makes contact with Joel Rodriguez in the 56. Once again, the caution does not come out. Donnelly would go a lap down as a result of this. Caution 2 would come out on lap 19. Rip Tyler in the new 555 PSI car would not make a good first impression. He creates a small pileup coming off of turn 2 involving Scott Morales, Amy Harrison, and Henrietta Laverne III, who just can't catch a break this season. Everyone pitted under the yellow, and Jared Anderson would continue to lead on the restart. However, he had a bunch of cars in front of him. All those cars, including Armand Mitro, who won the qualifying race, are either off the lead lap or on the tail end of the lead lap. Caution 3 flew a few laps after the restart. DJ Daniels blows his engine after running in the top 10 all race. Everyone's blasting by him. He can't get to the inside, and when he thinks he sees an opening, Bigsby Foot is right there in the 14. They get together, and Daniels ends up sitting backwards on the track. Jared Anderson leads on the restart once again. Lucas Hunter and Olivier Martinez, who are behind the 10, are a lap down. Eric Jackson is in second place behind the 5. Caution 4 came out on lap 39. Kevin Monroe gets together with Joel Rodriguez going into turn 1. They take Benji Flynn with them, and Monroe goes up onto his roof. You don't normally see cars flipping over at short tracks, but Monroe manages to do it. The 63, the 9, and the 56 would all drop out of the race. Here's a novel concept. Jared Anderson leading on the restart. Eric Jackson still runs second. Andy Pearson is third, and Jeb Klinger continues to hang on to the top 5, running 4th. Jackson is finally going to provide us with the lead change. He gets a run on Anderson coming off of turn 4, and he's going to complete the pass entering turn 1, bringing Andy Pearson with him. Lucas Hunter is going to get into another mess. He gets together with Leigh Gurel coming off of turn 2. He rides on the apron, then shoots back up into Leigh Gurel, taking both cars into the wall, and Armand Mitro in the 88 pegs the 01. Hunter and Mitro would drop out of the race. Eric Jackson leads on the restart with Jeb Klinger right behind him. Namimura has broken up into the top 5. She is running 3rd. Shane Lake is having another good run in that 155 car. He had kind of a shaky start to the year, but he followed that up with a bunch of great performances, eventually locking himself into the top 27. So now the pressure to qualify is off, and he can just focus on racing. Jeb Klinger would eventually chase down Eric Jackson. He gets a run on the 3, and he washes up the track, almost making contact with Jackson, but he's going to keep his momentum and get by him for the lead. Klinger will be 76 in a little more than a month. He is the oldest full-time driver in the field. Caution 6 flew in lap 65. Darrell Sullivan tries to block Ricky Navarro going into turn 3. He takes himself into the wall and then gets clobbered by Reed Weber Jr. Teammates Cedric Dejau and Joseph Howard get involved. They would keep going, but Sullivan and Weber would drop out of the race. Jeb Klinger leads on the restart. Eric Jackson managed to hang on to second. And coming through turns 1 and 2, you're going to see Klinger got a very slow start. Here comes Jackson to reclaim the lead. He's going to bring Jason Bates in the 51 with him. But Bates would try to carry his momentum from last week, and he chased down the 3 to take the lead for himself. Bates finished second to Brenda Riggs at Albuquerque last week. He's had several strong runs throughout his career, but no wins to back them up. But Eric Jackson decides that it's not quite the 51's turn to lead right now and takes the lead back. He leaves Bates and Andy Pearson to fight it out for second. Caution 7 flew on lap 80. Anthony Griffith goes 3 wide with Todd Stater and Dale Underwood. This results in the 03 bouncing off the wall and sending the 211 spinning. However, nobody hits Griffith and he keeps going. Eric Jackson continues to lead on the restart. Andy Pearson runs second. Jason Bates is third, and Shane Lake has worked his way up to fourth. After several laps, Jackson really begins to pull away from the pack. This is by far the best performance that 3 cars had all year. I believe the only time it's led laps during the season was at Mansfield. But eventually, Jason Bates broke away from the pack and slowly began to reel in Eric Jackson. Here's Bates getting a run on the 3 coming off of turn 2. And they get together. Jason Bates takes the leader hard into the inside wall, and he takes himself out of contention to win the race. Here's another look at it. Jackson bobbles a bit coming off turn 2, and Bates should have known that that spot was giving drivers trouble all day, so he probably should have backed off. Oh, the heartbreak for Gravity Racing Inc. They were having such a great run, and now they get taken out. While all this was happening, Ricky Flush in the 31 got together with Shane Lake in the 155 coming off of turn 4, sending the 159 into the 64 of Bobby Porto and sending the 64 spinning down the track. However, nobody hits him and he keeps going. With 2 of his main rivals out of the way, Andy Pearson inherits the lead in car number 2. However, he doesn't really capitalize on it, taking a slow restart. Jeb Klinger in the 66 is right there to take advantage. Namimura runs third in the 39, and Packer Carroll has worked his way up to fourth, probably trying to avenge his fallen teammate. Carroll's had a lot of bad luck in recent weeks and really needs a good run. Todd Stater and Dale Underwood will be the next drivers to spin into the pit lane. They get together coming off of turn 2. The 03 takes the 150 hard into the inside wall. Stater dropped out of the race, and Underwood would go a lap down. The 9th and final caution flew with 17 laps to go. Brenda Riggs turns Kurt Walker to the inside, and then he shoots back up the track, taking his car into the wall, and then he's going to get pegged by Henrietta Laverne III in the 00. Laverne has not qualified for many races this season, so she did not need this. Her sponsor, Meltdown Antifreeze, is leaving her after this race. Brenda Riggs was called to the hauler. There's been a little bit of bad blood between Riggs and Walker ever since Quincy last year. And on top of that, Riggs ran into a couple cars last week at Albuquerque. Namimura led on the restart. There are about 12 laps to go at this point. Jeb Klinger peeks to the inside coming off of turn 2, but Mura throws the block. Seeing Mura up front at the end of the race has been quite a rarity this season. The engine usually blows up on her by this time. Jeb Klinger would try once again to get a run on the 39, and this time she lets him have the inside. The last time Jeb Klinger won a race in the series was in 1977. He came back in 2008 after a 30-year hiatus, and he's proven that he can still run up front. The 39 wouldn't go down without a fight. Jeb Klinger slips up the track coming through turn 2, and she's right there to take advantage. You probably saw a little bit of smoke. Here's what happened. Karma comes back to bite Brenda Riggs. She gets together with Joseph Howard coming off of turn 2 and gets spun into the pit lane. So Brenda Riggs will not be able to keep up her momentum after winning at Albuquerque. Back up front, Jeb Klinger gets a run on Namimura coming on to 2 laps to go. Going into turn 3, the 66 slides up the track and sideswipes the 39. This is probably some of the hardest racing we've seen all year. Coming to the line, Mura leads the lap, but Jeb Klinger has the inside. Jason Bates is running a lap down after spinning Eric Jackson and himself into the pit lane. And coming to the white flag, he steals the inside from Jeb Klinger, trying to get his lap back. Andy Pearson is right there to take advantage, and he takes the lead coming off of turn 2. Jeb Klinger has his moment of glory shattered by an uncharacteristically greedy move from Jason Bates. He can't get a run coming off the corner, and Andy Pearson will go on to take his 60th career ARLA Elite Series victory and second of the season.